action here at Sunset.
Stanley gets rolling and takes off again. And then the other Stanley car, the 7.
Huge gap.
Rolling down the back chute. Here we go. Once again on it.
I think they called that one back too. I don't think they but I don't know if that's James Stanley as much as it is Sophie just not getting up to speed.
So we get ready to go. Still under yellow here. We're going to hold this one off.
Little bit of a wardrobe malfunction for the flagman. When they say throw the green flag, it's not literal. You wave it, but you don't throw it.
You know, we can't bust on them too bad because we've all made mistakes. And once again, so is that a situation where Sophie's hanging back and Stanley's getting away? Or what was the deal there? You know, we've seen a lot of that this weekend, Adam.
I'm not sure. And again, these are drivers that haven't raced much in 2020, so we'll have to cut them some slack. Obviously, Stanley is faster, so there's going to be that coming to the green, and that might just be it. I mean, I'm sure they can adjust the clutches on these race cars, so there is a big difference between a car that's set up properly and a car that's not quite. And look at the gap Stanley's got, nearly a full straightaway.
Yeah, solid run. He's been running these cars for a while now, and that is a big lead out front. Just want to mention the 48 of Richard Woodward is in this race, along with the 46 of Ron Hooligan. So I think I had them wrong earlier in the lineup, and we'll get that right for you as we go forward. So, Adam, the 84 in the lineup I sent you is actually the 48 of Richard Woodward.
10-4.
Stanley just waxing the field here. And
yeah,
these are 10-lap qualifying heats.
10 laps, a long time when the car's spread out like this. Great practice for later in the night. Clinton, it is cool. In fact, it is not cool. It is cold.
Yes. The temperatures have certainly dropped in Ontario this past week for sure. So if you're watching from around the world, which I want to welcome all our viewers here on GForceTV, this is a broadcast of last night's event from Sunset Speedway. And it's a tight little bowling, high banked, and it's provided some great action. We've seen some amazing racing there already this season. And let's talk about this day, Adam. OSCAAR got together to bring all of their racing friends in and get an event going here. And it's been a good success, good car counts, and great action so far.
Yeah, a lot of appreciation we got to give to Brian Toddish, Dave Gainforth, as we're ready to go heat number 2. The K5 is Kevin Taylor. The 4 is Ryan Badalana. 15 is Jaden Riddell. 58 is Gary Triska. And the 71 is Wayne McGibbon.
So in Ontario here, there were 2 different midget groups that similar cars, so they merged together here and put the car counts together, and they're having a challenge race here today. So that's what we're seeing here as the K5 of Kevin Taylor. He's out of Richmond Hill in the Hinckley Lighting PCI Imageware Living Lighting K5.
You can see these cars real dirty. The cold temperatures, they don't have heat in the tires just yet. But as this race goes on, I think you're going to see the handling really come into these cars. And we'll separate who's got a solid set underneath them and who doesn't.
Cars starting to string out. And of course, when we put them all combined into the feature tonight, things will be a little bit, a lot more competitive, we should say, as there'll be a lot more action going on out there. But these guys, as you mentioned, Adam, they haven't seen the track hardly at all this season, unless they've gone out and done some private practicing. Been very few events for these type of cars.
Exactly, yep. We saw them up at Sunset Speedway, and I don't know how many drivers here were at the event in Sunset last month.
So Jaden Riddell out front, running away in that car number 15. And he's got a big advantage. Riddell's out of Woodstock in the Advantage powder coating. Jim Williamson Construction, Colin Riddell Construction, number 15. And then we get a good
look. 58 is Gary Triska.
Yeah, Gary's supported by Diamond Fluid Products, Specialized Tooling, TXM Race Engine, and I8 Services. And we'll try and get as many of these great supporters in for these teams as we watch them near the back start to reel things up a bit tighter there.
In third place, that's Ryan Batalana from Caledon. The Pinnacle Home Environment TXM Motorsports Bin Kings Disposal sponsored number 4.
Still rolling
Good
around.
battle there, right at the back of the pack.
And Riddell, he may catch these guys before it's over here. We saw Riddell run very good up at Savo, as you mentioned, Adam. Picked up the feature win there about a month ago.
Yeah, and he's holding a pretty wheel right now, just sails that car into the turn. He's about a car width off the bottom of the racetrack, not running quite as low as we saw people running in that last heat. But it's certainly not slowing him down, and he is making a lot of speed out there as he's going to take heat race number 2.
We'll see a few groups of smaller type cars, or 2 groups of smaller type cars, we should say, today. We're also going to see the Can-Am TQ Midgets and their stars that come in, and they're one of the fastest divisions on pavement. So even though they're smaller cars, they really rip around. These cars motor too. We're also going to see the OSCAAR Hot Rods and Modifieds on tonight's broadcast as well. Here's your first qualifying heat for the TQ Midgets. Starting up front on the pole was David Mathers in the 54. Starting second in this race, Craig Pitchell in that car number 6. In the third spot was Cassidy March out of London in car number 81. And Paul Harrison in the 29 out of Kitchener. 5th starting spot, car number 11, David Miller. 6th will be Daniel Hahn in the 42. 7th, Mac DeMann in the 40 machine, making his in our final starter, James Stanley in the 57.
David Miller trying to work the outside in that black number 11 and get a run. So these cars have full suspension on them, Clinton. These are the original midget race cars in Ontario. This club has been racing a long time, and boy, oh boy, that was close between, I think that was Paul Harrison on the inside, David Miller up on the outside.
For the long-time veteran fans, these are the same cars you would have seen in the indoor races at Niagara Falls, and in those series, we still see them in the Northeast, up and down the seaboard. Indiana, they got the Still Rumble at Fort Wayne, I believe, and they take the top wings off and take these cars indoors. And Adam, I know you spent a lot of time there. Some amazing racing by these, and a lot of history in this region with this class.
There is, so Clinton, you're absolutely right. Love the Can-Am Midgets. Of course, there's groups that race as well down in New Jersey. And for the big events, it was always fun to watch them all come together. There was a group that ran down at Lancaster for a number of years as well. So a lot of these race cars in and around. It'd be great to see more and more of them start to come out. Yeah,
it's their 55th year of competition here for the Can-Am Midgets. And they want to thank their heat race sponsors, Hahn Motorsports, Chassis Works are the heat sponsor races, or heat race sponsors, we should say. As we watch them take it down, you're looking at the 81 machine there, running very good. That's Cassidy March as they run mid-pack there. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th on the screen, leader way out front.
I love the sound of the TQ Midgets. Like, it's piercing loud, but you can just hear these engines and the speed that they're making out there.
See, get a look at the Daniel Hahn 42. Checkers down. Get you the official finish here. 1 sec.
Clint, what document are you working from?
For the Can-Am Midgets, I've got one. I'll send it over to you.
Okay, perfect.
I actually emailed it to you today. So there you see Daniel Hahn coming down here.
OSCAAR Racing on GForceTV is brought to you by the following partners.
That last one I just want to wrap up. Daniel Hahn was over David Miller and the 81 of Cassidy March. 2nd qualifying heat coming on the track now. Brody Rickwood will start on the pole, number 81. 2nd will be the number 7 of Steph Blackburn. 3rd will be the 22 of Luke Muncie. Fourth place will be the 55 of Corey Whittam. Fifth will be the number 53 of Brandon Houck. And then you've got this sixth place starter, the 12 of Darren Dryden. Seventh starter in this one will be Adam Racine in the number 20 car. Eighth place starter, Bob Bailey in the 46. And our final starter, the number 44 of Mike Coleman.
Some heavy hitters out here. Darren Dryden in that number 12. There's a lot of wins behind the wheel of that 12 machine in the TQ Midget in recent years.
And he's been running a lot of dirt with us too, Adam, on a lot of the races we've been covering here on the channel. Ran great Friday night. Nearly picked up his first win on the dirt. And he got taken to school by the professor, Alan Downey, a little bit there on the last lap. But Darren, real classy interview there, and did a great job working. We see him battle with Brandon Houck out of Waterloo, Ontario. Brandon is in number 53 Mercedes-Benz of Kitchener-Waterloo. Highway Western Star out of Aaron Guelph and the Avium Timepieces machine. And as I said, he comes to us from Waterloo. Dryden, of course, out of Freelton, Ontario, in the DJD Graphics 3M
Yellow
Expert
flag.
Transmission and Total Car. And the yellow's out, yes. That's
Sorry,
Mike Coleman
trouble
with trouble there,
in turn 4. Yep, Coleman in the 44. I appreciate the top wing he's got. Makes it a lot easier to know who's who.
Yes. Especially for us announcer types. Green flag coming back out here, and we're on it again. That's the 7 machine of Jeff Blackburn out of Newmarket, Ontario, in the Wagner Painting. Lloyd's Truck Clinic, Aurora, completely wired out of Woodbridge. Car number 7, and he gets overhauled there by Racine. Racine working him over in the 20.
Yeah, Adam Racine gets out in front. Darren Dryden, I thought he would mount a challenge even quicker from the 3rd spot, but these teams are fast, Clinton. There's some great competitors here this weekend with a lot of speed. Dryden not able to make a move. Racine out in front by about 6 car lengths and spreading that gap just a little bit lap after lap.
Yeah, Adam Racine out of Kitchener, Ontario, in the Detmer Tire. Number 20, your leader here, out front of the 7 car of Jeff Blackburn. And then you got Dryden in the 12. And the 53 running in 4th is Brandon Houck. Back behind Houck, it's the number 22 machine of Luke Muncie out of Penetang in the Sweet Sensations Bakery car. Behind them, it's the 83 of Brody Rickwood out of St. Thomas, the Elton Chrysler Dodge machine, and the checkers come down. And our final finisher there will be Mike Coleman in the Sauce Boss Kitchen Expert Transmission for the car care, number 44. Finishing order there, Adam, was the 27, 12, 53, 22, 83, 84. Get ready to go, OSCAAR Hot Rod Racing.
They don't waste much time between heats here, Clinton.
No, hustling right into it.
Stomping Tom Walters in the 2nd spot in that 47 machine. He's no stranger to Sunset Speedway. That beautiful black and yellow 47. That's Steve Book. He's been fast everywhere he's gone this year. Yeah,
Bookie in the 47 has been running excellent for the past couple of years, actually. Steve Book out of Brantford, that 1960 Super Hawk. He's got Lafarge and Refractory Removal Services, APC Auto Parts Centers on that car. And Stompin' Tom Walters, what a great addition he is here, an Ontario veteran to this class. And he told us up at Sabo he was surprised. He thought he'd be out here having fun, but this is a high level of competition here as we watch him. He battles with Billy Anderson Jr. out of Mount Forest in that 1966 Chevelle.
Yeah, Alderson up on the outside, giving him a good fight there. But I think Walter's going to sneak out in front in that 47, slide up in front of the number 18 machine. Not pulling away right now. But if they look in their rear view mirrors, we're halfway through this one. 5 laps in, 5 laps remaining. Steve Book closing the gap on the top 2.
Stompin' Tom holding the spot here out front of the Billy Alderson Jr. car.
Yeah, he took that lead, but hasn't driven away too far. He's got a few car lengths over Alderson. Alderson now has just a few car lengths over Steve Book. As Book closing in, as laps wind down here in this first OSCAAR Hot Rod Heat.
Tom Walters out of Stroud in the 1965 Rambler Ambassador. That thing's got some good looking lines on it. It's the Red Line Apparel and the Baker machine. If you see Studebaker, Steve Book starting to run up on the 18 of Alderson Jr. Those top three have really stretched things out here.
He had a look to the inside last time out of turn number 2. Not close enough this time to try and get that drive, as Walters has now opened up to about 5 car lengths. I don't think he's under any risk of giving this one away. Tom Walters takes the win over Alderson and Steve Book.
Yeah, behind them it would be the 00, the 0, 04, 11, and 12 wrapping up the finish on that one.
That roof is just slammed on the 47 machine. All right, second heat. That's Tyler Hahn up on the outside. Oh, that's the outside of row number 2. Sorry about that. In row number 1, we've got the 44. I'm not sure if that's Matt Hopkins or Darcy Gribben, Clinton. But on the outside, we know that's Paul Sr. from North Bay. Row number 2 on the outside is Tyler Hahn in the 2. On the inside is Jeremy McLean, also out of North Bay in that 88. Adrian Foster drives the X car. Nick Clark in the 86, the 21. Man, oh man, did we ever see him have trouble last time out. Engine trouble in that 21 for Dan Rothwell. Trying to see who the final car is in this one. I couldn't catch the car number.
Get that for you in just 1 second there, Adam.
I think it might be Scott Beatty in the number 6. Paul Sr. out in front. He's got Hahn chasing him from behind. Hahn up to the outside into turn number 1. He'll carve to the inside on corner exit and challenge for the lead.
All right, Adam, I just sent you a new file here. That should help you get up to speed a bit better.
Yeah, I saw the last file you sent me. You got all sorts of cheat sheets that you didn't share.
Here we go. So in this one, Matt Hopkins in the 44 took us from the start, but right now we're watching the battle between Tyler Hahn and the number 2 machine. He is out of Oro Medante in the 1966 Beaumont NRS Brake Spider Tech Oshwegan Speedway Race Source. Car number 2 leading. That's Paul Sr. right there in that 8 SR out of North Bay in the 1974 Maverick Juniors Tire Adams Draft Mud Garage machine running in the 2nd position. In the 6, it is Scott Beatty out of Toronto. He's in that Javelin machine with the Peterbilt race cars, Heidi's RV Center Top Shop paint supply car. And we watch Tyler Hahn, that gorgeous Beaumont, trying to hold off Paul Sr. here. And the racing in this class is just amazing, Adam. If you've not seen these guys, you know, the cars are gorgeous and they're not afraid to put the bumper to each other. We've seen it many times already.
Yeah, and you know, Clint, the racing is good. It's like a lot of divisions, the racing is good. But when you watch these cars, it just puts a smile on your face looking at some of these vintage retro cars. And they're so true to form, to what they were when they were actually racing. Like, they're beautiful pieces.
Oh, yeah. Like, you look at that 44 car of Matt Hopkins. That is a 1964 Pontiac Laurentian. He's supported by Black Rabbit Racing and Leith Coast Customs. And what a run for them. You got Jeremy McLean also out there in the 80 car, a little bit behind these guys. He's there in the 68 Chevelle with Warp Deliveries, TSS Top Shops, and South Shore Auto out of North Bay. And he, you know, these guys coming from North Bay, that's nothing to shake a stick at. That's a long drive, you know. And, you know, even Adrian Foster, he's got that 69 Chevelle, just gorgeous out there, 1-800 Drywall Genco equipment machine. And, you know, one guy we don't want to leave out, of course, make sure we get everybody sponsored. Nick Clark is also out there in the 86 John's Towing Arctic Clear PW Auto Sales machine in a 1969 Mustang. Tyler Hahn gets it done, guys.
Let's take a quick break, Clinton, here on GForceTV Lite.
OSCAAR Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by the following partners.
All right, this will be what they're calling qualifying heat number 3, Adam, for the Ontario Sprint. But it is actually second round when they take the groups and inverse them, and we get set to go here.
That's how they line them up. So double heat, which a lot of tracks have been doing, Clinton, for the last number of years. We haven't done it so much this year because the reason they did it was when car counts got a little bit light, it gave the fans more racing. Most of the events this year have had full car counts, but this racing is true to their form. They're running a double heat format.
Sean Stanley and James Stanley, both out of Orangeville in the Southfield Farms HMCW Ultra Graphics cars going at it here. 1-2 into 1-2 as we see the 89 there of Ryan Wardell out of London. Also out there, Sophie Horton in the Horton Motorsports, tailored by Mike, number 76. And Tyler Cullen in the 46. Ron Hooligan in the 46 and Richard Woodward in the 48 in this one.
Now, it looked like Sophie Horton a little bit quicker in this heat, if I'm not mistaken, than in the heat number 1. Sophie puts the pressure on Stanley, drives to the inside, and makes that pass for the second spot.
Definitely picking up speed a little bit better in this one. Maybe even can be something even simple as a gear change, Adam, with cars, like this, such a wheelbase difference. The motors aren't all that big, so that can really make a huge difference.
It absolutely can. Up into second. I don't think she has much for our race leader, but into that second spot. It's a big thing when you start a season or when you're in a season where you're not racing too much. You got to get back in the swing of things, making passes, knowing where you are on the racetrack. So Sophie Horton up into the second spot, but this race is all the 57.
Up front, still rolling, very good. It's that number 57, James Stanley, as we mentioned earlier, out of Orangeville.
Sean Stanley still running in the third position. Sophie Horton, of course, second. A little bit of slower traffic as the white flag flies on James Stanley.
Big lead here. And that will be the end of that one. And at the finish, it will be Stanley over Horton, then the other 75 car. And that will be Sean Stanley. 89 of Ryan Wardell, 46 of Hooligan, and at the back, Woodward. And
right
here we
into
go.
heat race number 4.
I got it here for you, Adam.
Yeah, go ahead.
K5.
That's where
K5.
Okay, the K5 is.
Kevin Taylor in the Richmond Hill Hinkley Lighting PCI Imageware Living Lighting car. Also out there, Ryan Badalana out of Caledon in the Pinnacle Home Improvement TXM Motorsports Bin Kings Disposal number 4. Also in this one, Jaden Rydell of Woods Rock in the Advanced Power Coach, Jim Williamson Construction calling it out construction machine. Gary Chuskett in the 58. Dynamic Fluid Products, Specialized Tooling, TXM Racing Goods car, and Wayne McKibben out of Orangeville in the MCI Automation, VW Towing, Hypertech, High Performance Lubricants, car number 71.
See, you miss all this, don't you, Clinton? You getting to work down on the racetrack where you follow accidents. You don't have to do lineups and sponsors.
Man, it's like going back to school. Thank God I'm fairly proficient on the one app I actually use to our program is Excel. So it does help. Plus all the great support. We got great support. Dave Gameforce has helped us out with a ton of information here to get us going. We haven't been able to see these guys live for a while, so we're getting caught back up to speed. I did spend some time as an OSCAAR announcer over the years, and we're having a great time bringing it here by all of the partners who got this one on the air. We're just, Adam, we've talked about this a lot internally with our crew. We're super proud to be be able to get these races out, and we think there's going to be a lot more opportunity to air these races in the future. So if you like this, give us a share, give us a like. Let the folks who run your series know you appreciate being on GeForce TV, and we'll continue to try and put that together.
You said it, and
here.
we've had some great conversations all year long as Jaden Riddell is just way out in front in his own zip code out there. Now I'm curious what's going to happen. Yeah, what's going to happen when we put Riddell and Stanley on the track at the same time? So both of them have been fairly dominant. Hopefully we're going to see a great race between those two in the feature event.
Yeah, it was kind of like we talked about, when we merged the two groups together in all these classes, it's going to be some great racing here tonight. So this is the second round of the Ontario Midgets qualifying. This is their last qualifying heat race. 4 of 4 here tonight. Next up, we'll have the OSCAAR Queenston Chevrolet Modifieds for 10 laps qualifying. And Riddell will put the punctuation point on this one, and he will knock that one down. Riddell finishing ahead of Triska, then the 71 of McKibben, the 4 Machina of Batalana, and the K5 of Kevin Taylor.
So good clean heat races for the midgets, and now it's time for some modified racing, Clinton. That's Craig Downey on the pole in the number 79. Not sure where. Is that Dale Reinhardt in the 51 alongside? Reinhardt's on the outside in the 51. Andy Camrath in the 89C. Kelly Balson in the B10 make up row number 2. Back to the third row. Jace Cornell in the 56 and Ben Grunts in the 4G.
You got him. Camrath makes quick work of that one, and he will jump out front in the London Recreational Racing Havelock Metal Roofing AM group of companies car out of Churchill, Ontario, and that stable's just always stout at him.
Always. We saw Craig Downey in the 79 here not long ago, and that car had a horrible push. They fought it all day long, but he still made pretty good speed. That car is still not handling well for Downey, as we see Dale Reinhardt holding off Kelly Balson in the B10, trying to keep pace with Camrath in the London Recreational Racing 89C.
The mods put on some great racing here a couple weeks back, right here at Sunset, as part of the APC series. And we had that one on GeForce. You can go back and watch that if you don't get your full fill tonight. As we watch Kelly Balson chase after the Dale Reinhardt machine. Reinhardt gets the track with support from Roy Foss out of Thornhill and SGR Plumbing. Scott Reinhardt Trailer Sales is out of Shelburne in that car number 51. Get a look at a couple cars a little bit further back in the running. 79 of Craig Downey, as you mentioned, Adam.
Yeah, trying to hold off Jace Cornell in the 56. It's a pretty good battle for the 4th spot. You'll see them come into frame right now. Downey has the position. He's able to put the car in the corner right on the bottom, but it just washes up the racetrack. Watch this as he goes down into 3 and 4, right on the line, and then he's got those wheels cranked hard left, trying to get that car to turn.
And Jace Cornell trying to put pressure on. Jace has got the Triton Sales and Service Airlift Canada Pinnacle Graphics 56 car, and he's out of Coldwater. And we're looking at the 10 there. Kelly Balson out of Hampton. He's in the London Recreational Racing Cochrane Automotive Brighton Speedway. Car number B10.
Balson's car as well looks to have a little bit of a push coming off the corner. Dale Reinhardt, he's able to close in on Dale going in the turn, but Reinhardt rotating better. Nobody rotating as well as the 89C of Andy Camrath, who's out in front all by himself, driving away to the checkered flag.
Camrath will take the win out front of Reinhardt, then Kelly Balson, Craig Downey, the 56 of Chase Cornell, and Ben Grunts will be the finishing order for Queens and Chevels OSCAAR Modifieds. Group number 2 on the track now, Adam.
Corey Horner in the 79H on the pole. It's Ryan Dick in the 88D. Wally Wilson drives the 69. Jason Keane in the 18. TJ Edwards in the 34. AJ Ems in the 14. Norman Newman in the 11.
Got a few more back out there still.
No.
rolling along
it's
here.
Some sort of a typo there, Clinton. We had more names on that list, but they're not out there in this race.
Got ya. Horner leading out of Oshawa in the custom forming. Bondsma Brothers concrete pumping car, and that the racing here is great. Look at these moves. M's trying to go to the bottom here.
Keane got up on the rumble strip on the inside there and just washed up the track, and AJ Ems was ready for it. Just launched to the inside to make that move. They'll continue to race side by side behind the 88D of Ryan Dick.
Putting the moves there. Best battle is for third. AJM's trying to get under Jason Keane as they continue to roll wheel to wheel here through the turns. And, you know, Sunset's got some high banking at him. You can really work the outside. We've seen that work a lot. We'll see how that comes in later on tonight when we get to feature time.
You can run up the outside of the racetrack. You could run around the bottom, as we see right there. AJ Ems with a nice move up to the second spot. TJ Edwards joining the battle as well. He'll look to the inside of Jason Keane. If you remember, Edwards caught the berm, the rumble strips on the inside of 3 and 4 that broke the front end, sent him up into the outside wall. He's got Norman Newman on the inside of him right now, battling for the 5th spot.
Now, Ems working on the backside, trying to catch the leader, Corey Horner.
And he's done it. Ems caught him working to the inside. AJ Ems in that 14 takes the lead from Horner in the 79 in the closing laps of this qualifying heat. One more to go. AJ Ems has to try to hold off Horner in the 79 one more time. Horner gets squirrely in turn number 2. That'll allow AJ Ems to pull out in that 14 machine. BAE Environmental TL Tire Klotz Canada number 14 takes the win with AJ Ems behind the wheel.
79H of Corey Horner, 18 of Jason Keane in the Oakville Auto Diesel Machine Shop will finish in position number 3. The 11 car will roll off in 4th, or finish in 4th, I should say. And here we go, Adam. Right into the second round of qualifying for the OSCAAR Hot Rods.
Starting lineup isn't what I have, Clinton. That confuses me a little bit. But we got Trevor Thompson out of Elmira out there in the 00. He's battling side by side with Steve Book in the 47. Stomping Tom Walters in that black and red 47 in the 3rd spot, waiting for his opportunity to make a move. But with the leaders side by side, nowhere for Walters to go.
Three of them going at it for the lead there.
Yeah,
and
great battle.
These guys have been running good. You know, when Walters and Book get together, the 47 cars, they put on some great racing. Both a lot of veteran years. I mean, you know, Ralph Book, Steve's dad, was a legend around these parts for a long time, and Stompin' Tom's a legend in his own right.
I was going to say, Tom Walters has been around for so many years, people would remember him forever. But the Book name has been around racing even longer.
Walters trying to put the move down low on the 00 of Trevor Thompson. Thompson is out of Elmira in that 1971 Elmira Harvey Swiss Chalet Rural Roots Brewing Company, I should say. Bridgeland Terminals Limited.
Amazing battle
right
with these three.
Two.
Yeah, Thompson's putting up a good fight because these are two of the best drivers you're going to find in any division in Ontario. And Trevor Thompson, he's going wheel for wheel with these guys.
Behind them, you see Alderson Jr. trying to sneak into the picture a little bit here. There we see the nosy Billy Alderson Jr. machine out of Mount Forest. But it is all these two. The battle for second is what is drawing our attention right now. 00 Trevor Thompson and the Steve Book 47 machine out of Brantford. Studebaker knows on that 47 of Book. It's a wild car. You got to see these things up close, though.
It's a sleek looking race car for sure. Beautiful car. They've got crew shirts to match. This team looks great when they show up to the racetrack, Clint.
Yeah, if you're wondering what the rules are, these are basically, they have to be steel-bodied cars, must have steel bumpers, and they have to be between the years of 1954 and 74, if I understand correctly. And this division's just grown. It's taken off quite a bit. It's affordable, puts on some great racing, and they've been invited to a lot of the big shows. Tom Walters will win that one over Steve Book and the 00 of Trevor Thompson, followed by Billy Alderson Jr., the 04 machine of Sean Walker. Also out there, behind them, Bill Clark out of Mount Forest in the 0. We get set to go here. Final qualifying heat race for the OSCAAR Hot Rods. Scott Beatty out of Toronto in the number 6 car. Nick Clark for Teeswater in the 86. Adrian Foster for Bradford in the X car. 21 of Dan Rothwell of Sunridge on the outside. Tyler Hahn from Oro Modante in the car number 2. Jeremy McLean in the 88 from North Bay. On the inside behind him, Paul Sr. in the 8 Senior out of North Bay, and the 44 of Matt Hopkins out of Chatsworth. We're rolling, and it's the 6 of Scott Beatty pulling away from Adrian Foster. And the Hahn number 2. Looks like 3 wide there in the turn number 1 and 2.
Every time we've watched the Adrian Foster X machine this year, that car looks like a big handful for the driver, but he never lifts. And when he goes where he has to go, he corrects the car. He does it all out there, but he is as busy as any driver on the racetrack behind the wheel of that red X.
These cars are big machines too. They've got huge tail tanks on them. Look at the hood surface on that Adrian Foster car. It's bigger than my king-size bed. It's massive. 8 Senior, Paul Sr. trying to work to the inside. That's gorgeous too. The camera doesn't really do these cars justice. They could all be in a classic car shop, and they still actually race. And it's super cool about these teams and what they put together. And I know a lot of them are super proud to be hot rods, as they should be. You look at Scott Beatty rolling very well in that number 6 car. He's in the Peterbilt race cars, Heidi's RV Center, Top Shop, Paint Supplies, Javelin from Toronto.
So the field's tried out here in this heat. The opposite of what we saw with Steve Book and Tom Walters and Trevor Thompson. They were all over each other in their heats. Out here, it's a little more subdued. Everyone's stretched out. It'll be a different story come feature time.
Still Beatty in control of the action here. Getting ready to put the final touches on this one. And has had this one in hand. Hahn has been making a move to try and challenge, but has distanced himself from Senior, but hasn't been able to get close enough here to put a real challenge on Beatty just yet.
No, and Beatty's car's handling well. He sees the white flag in the air one more time around. He doesn't have to push it. Hahn's closed in a little bit in these last couple of laps, but not nearly enough.
There is Scott Beatty out of Toronto will grab it in that Javelin number 6 car. Tyler Hahn from Oro Modante will finish second. North Bay's Paul Sr. in the 8 car. Adrian Foster in the X, the 21 machine of Dan Rothwell will come across behind them. Then you've got the 88 car of Jeremy McLean, the 86 of Nick Clark, and the 44 of Matt Hopkins. What a machine. Gorgeous.
OSCAAR Racing on GForceTV is brought to you by the following partners.
Man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without kindling or paper. Quick Wick, the world's best fire starter.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
All right, welcome back. OSCAAR Racing, presented by Oswego Speedway Racehorse, live from Sunset Speedway in Innisfil. Here we are with your Ontario Sprint feature. Getting ready to go. Ontario Midget, I should say. Starting up front on the pole, James Stanley in the car number 57. Jaden Riddell in the 15. Get your wish at him. They're going to square off. Sophie Horton in the 76 will line up on the inside. Ryan Batalana on the outside of the second row. John Stanley in the 75. Wayne McKibben in the 71. Ryan Wardell in the 89. Kevin Taylor the Cape 5. Tyler Cohen in the 46. And at the back, the 48 of Gary Triska. And Hooligan in the 46 for the third time. I'm the hooligan here tonight. Get that right.
Great to have them all on the racetrack together. See who's the best of the best. Obviously, it was Stanley and Rydell in their qualifying heats were unbeatable. And it looks like Stanley is up to the task. He's out in front and pulling away with the lead.
Stanley taking him down. And he has been the class of the field for sure, Adam. This is a 25-lap feature for the Ontario Midgets.
Sophie Horton running in the third spot. So as he said, she had great improvement from the first qualifying heat to her second qualifying heat. Let's see if she can close in on Rydell and mount a challenge in that 76 machine.
Just looking ahead at the remaining card here on tonight's broadcast. These are the Ontario Midgets in their 25-lap feature. Then we've got the OSCAAR Queensland Chevrolet Modifieds for 40 laps. The Can-Am TQ Midgets for 25 laps. And then you've got the Hot Rods for 30 laps. They're working to the inside. Some good racing going on there.
Good card racing here too being put on at Sunset Speedway. Racy divisions out there.
We look at that Wayne McKibben, 71 out of Orangeville, as he will take the spot away from Ryan Batalana out of Caledon.
Whoa! Crossover
one
move.
more.
McKibben tried to do a crossover. That hole was already filled by Triska, I believe.
Triska on the move. He will get around McKibben. And when that was going on, Batalana got back past.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Triska on the inside. Batalana up on the outside. He might have a problem in that 4. No, maybe he was just backing up the corner to try to get a run down the front stretch.
That's the battle around 5th right now. Get a look at the leader. 57 car. James Stanley from Orangeville in the Southfield Farms HMCW Ultra Graphics car. He's already lapping machines as they work to the inside there. On the McKibben 71. He's working his way up through the field quickly.
Yeah, he's lapping good race cars out there is Stanley. Batalana goes a lap down. Now he'll try to close in on the Triska 58.
Catches that car and will whip by on the bottom, just handling so well here. And there you see the 15 of Jaden Riddell out of Woodstock trying to reel up some of the distance, but he's got a long way to go. He's probably going to need a yellow and maybe some more help to make that happen if he's going to run with James Stanley here tonight.
As these races wear on, you will see certain cars really start to fade. Cars have been leaning on the right front too hard. Cars that have been loose leaning on the right rear too hard. But with the faster cars like Rydell and Stanley, I think they're going to stay pretty quick, Clinton.
Through the middle, onto the back chute. We try and give you a good look of all the cars there. We pick up the leader, James Stanley. And that is not second place behind him, as he has picked up and put down a lot of these other competitors already and put them behind the 8 ball, as now he works underneath the Hooligan 46.
Chris Hawkins doing a great job for us tonight with the camera work.
And Stanley just has this track right where he wants it. You know, no part of this track is giving him fits. Almost looks like a slot car out there. The car's just perfect.
Picking him up and laying him down. He has a bit more than a straightaway advantage over Rydell in the 15. Rydell back there in some serious traffic.
Watch Rydell work his way around the Hooligan 46, as some of the other ones working in the middle there too. Triska there with the other Stanley car, just peeking into view. Another shot at the leader. Stanley wrapping this one up quickly here.
Yeah, down the back straightaway, through 3 and 4. And he'll see the checkered flag in the air. Stanley going to take this win. Second going to Rydell.
Yeah, 76 of Sophie Horton will finish third. 75 of Sean Stanley will finish in fourth. Wayne McKibben behind them in the 71. Then you've got the 4 of Badalana. 58 of Triska. K5 car of Kevin Taylor. Then the 46 of Hooligan. The 89 machine of Ryan Wardell. And the 48 of Richard Woodland was a no start. James Stanley brings it around to pick up the checkers.
Had things his way tonight, that is for sure. Now we're going to go modified racing, Clinton. On the pole out of Hampton, the London Recreational Racing B10 is Kelly Balson. Outside of row 1 from Oakville, the Oakville Auto and Diesel Machine Shop 18 is Jason Keane. Starting third from Hawkins Corners, the BAE Environmental TL Tire 14 is AJM's. Alongside him from Shelburne, the Roy Foss Thornhill SGR Plumbing, number 51, Dale Reinhardt. Starting fifth from Churchill, the London Recreational Racing Havelock Metal Roofing 89C is Andy Camrath. And starting sixth from Oshawa, the Custom Forming Bonsma Brothers Concrete Pumping, number 79H is Corey Horner. Seventh, out of Kilworth, the Canada 2 Form 90 is Mike Hamacher. Starting 8th from Kincardine, the Family Funland, Jackson Construction, number 11, and Norman Newman. Starting 9th from Guelph, the Just Foam at JT Excavation, number 34 is TJ Edwards. Starting 10th out of Coldwater, the Triton Sales and Service, Air Liquide Canada, number 56 is Jace Cornell. 11th from Wardsville, the 88D is Ryan Dick. 12th from Bethany, the Marlin F&B Sport Fishing 4G is Ben Grunts. And rounding out the field from Owen Sound, the Fireplace and Patio Shop Have1.com 69 is Wally Wilson.
Good job, Adam. We saw Corey Horner get a little bit loose or with some help up there in the first couple laps. Got shuffled to the back. Paulson out front, leading in the B10. Reinhardt in second right now with AJ Ems and Andy Camrath, the top four. That's second, third, and fourth we see with the fifth place machine of Keane sneaking his way into the view there in the 18 car.
One little bit of bumper tag. Jason Keane in the 18 gets some help from Norman Newman in the 11. TJ Edwards in the 34.
That right there is the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th we're watching. We scan ahead. That's the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And we get a look at Kelly Balson as he takes the lead off to turn number 1 once more.
Balson had some tough luck when we were here with the APC series a couple of weeks ago, Clinton, in this modified. Got turned the wrong way on a couple of occasions. Got some body damage on that B10. It is back to prime condition for this race, always looking good when he shows up to the racetrack.
Yeah, this team spares no expense when it comes to prepping their race cars. London Recreational, if it's got that LRR on the back, you can bet it's going to be just as beautiful as the pool as that London Recreation. I got to tell you, my wife and I, we dream about having Mike Schmidt build this pool one day. You know, that crew is just amazing. I love fantasizing and daydreaming when Mike puts up the new builds when they're all completed. Just amazing work.
Oh yeah, they're not in my budget, Clint.
I hope to be in the budget one day. Want to send a shout out to Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse here. You see them up on the ticker. If you need any parts, give them a call and we can get you fixed up. That's info at osrparts.com. Thank them for supporting tonight's broadcast and covering the bill to get it on GForceTV. AJM's working to the inside there of that Reinhardt machine. Dale Reinhardt out of Shelburne, trying to hold off the 14 of AJMs. And as he opens up the door, Andy Camrath starts sniffing up to the left side corner of that Reinhardt machine as well.
AJMs did the right thing. You can't make a quiet move to the inside and hang out on the inside of someone because they're going to use you up. You have to drive the car deep into the corner, get back to the throttle, get positioned so you can work up the racetrack just a little bit. Let's see if Camrath does the same. He drives it deep into the corner, but Reinhardt able to hold him down on the bottom of the racetrack. That's where AJMs was able to complete that pass.
Camrath works to the inside of Dale Reinhardt. Will get that position away. That's the battle for third right there. 89C currently has it. Reinhardt would like to take it back. Just ahead of them, left side of the screen, that's the AJM's 14. There's your leader, Kelly Paulson. Center screen right there. Working his way around to the tail end of the field.
So AJM is trying to close the gap, and it might work out just right for him. Oh, no, it's not. Yellow flag is out. We got one around in turn number 4. I believe that's Ryan Dick.
Get cleaned up. That's the beauty of these GForce Lite. Time delay broadcast. We can cut out all the yellows in the cleanup time, and we're back on it already. AJMs took advantage of that restart on Kelly Paulson, and he will get the lead at him.
M's with a big launch in that 14. Now Balson going to try to hold off Andy Camrath.
And those
Balson
two teammates, you expect they will play nice.
I was just going to say that. Balson smooth up on the outside with the confidence that Camrath isn't going to run him up the track. As I say that, they darn near made contact off at turn number 4. They might have made contact.
Now Balson will get away, and that allows Reinhardt to slip by on the bottom as well. And then Norman Newman out of Kincardine, the family Funland Jackson Construction machine, they will jump into the mix.
And right behind them, Jason Keene in the 18. There's still a lot of drivers in this race in contention for a podium result.
.21 laps to go. Want to welcome WeatherTech Canada to our team of supporters. They came on board this week. We took them along with us to Merrittville Speedway, Brighton Speedway this weekend. We're proud to bring them here with us to Sunset Speedway, and of course, Queenston Chevrolet, Buick GMC, everything they do for racing here in Ontario has just been amazing. They are the official pace car supplier for a lot of the races around here that we've seen this summer on the blacktop. It's been amazing, all the support they've given to the Ontario racing scene.
Now, I have a WeatherTech Cup phone, Clinton. Do you use one?
No, but you know what? I want one so bad. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, for the way my pickup truck is set up, it's perfect.
You know, it's definitely needed. You know, they have the other ones that used to hang on the vent and all that, but it's not going to mess up your car. Not going to break your little vent fins off. Takes up one of your cup holders, but man, it's perfect angle. I hear lots. I got 2 buddies who got them, and Terry Sandeman raves about it. Says it's amazing. AJM's leading here, still out front in this OSCAAR modified race. 15 to go. AJM's your leader.
Queenston Chevrolet and OSCAAR modified is TJ Edwards putting the pressure on Norman Newman. Got around Jason Keene in the 18, now working on that 11 machine. A little bit of bumper down the back straightaway, then drops to the bottom, but Newman has a fast hot rod.
Been working his way into the scene here now and has gotten around them. Looking at the leader, that's AJM streaking out of the scene. 89, Camrath running in position number 2. That's the battle for third there. Dale Reinhardt trying to take it away from Kelly Balson. Balson pinned up on the outside as they get down the back straightaway into 3.
Balson's still nice and smooth, but as soon as the car on the inside starts to come up the racetrack, it shows to their advantage, but Balson doing a nice job of holding off Dale Reinhardt so far.
Working this one to the inside is the Reinhardt machine. The 51 out of Shelburne, the Roy Fox. SGR Plumbing, Scott Reinhardt Trailer Sales. Trying to battle here, take the third spot away.
Fantastic side-by-side action. Balson still running that same line. You can see Reinhardt's line changes a little bit, depending how hard he drives into the corner or how early he tries to get on the throttle. But Kelly Balson, by and large, is the same line, lap in and lap out, Clint.
Leaders now into some more lap traffic as AJM has to protect the bottom. Camrat trying to take the position away down on the inside, and that's one thing about those LRR cars. They can really roll that bottom with a ton of speed and momentum, and they just seem to have the right geometry to just start off these turns.
You saw AJM's defend the inside going into turn 3 last time. We did the same thing here. The trouble is when you defend the bottom going in, your car washes up the racetrack inevitably, and that'll allow Camrat to drive to the inside coming off the corner. So I've always thought you're better off just to keep running your racing line. If that got you out front, it should keep you out front.
Handful to go here for AJM's trying to hold off Andy Camrat at the finishing stages of this one in the Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC OSCAAR Modifieds. Down the back chute they go. Camrat still on the move, Adam.
AJM's was a spectator at the end of the last OSCAAR Modified race here at Sunset Speedway. He's still on the racetrack now and hopes to be standing tall in victory lane, but Andy Camrat all over the back end of that 14.
Yeah, difference of fortunes the last race. Camrat was standing in victory lane and M was short-lived. 2 to go here. And can Camrat lay the bumper? Can he make the move? Can he get the speed down the inside? Looks up on the bottom into 3. They get together a little bit, Adam.
They both wiggled under braking down into turn number 3, but AJM was able to hang on to it. Can he hang on for one more trip?
Last time down the back straightaway, AJM's will gap the Andy Camrat 89C by about 3. Camrat's really going to have to go full send mode to catch him, and he's not going to get it done. AJM's will grab the checkers ahead of Andy Camrat, Dale Reinhardt, Kelly Balson, Norman Newman. The 34 machine will finish in behind them. That's TJ Edwards, then Jason Keene. The 79H of Corey Horner, followed by the 56 of Jade Cornell, the 69 Wally Wilson, Ryan Dick, and the 88D. The other 79 car out there. And we're going to break. We'll be right back here. GeForce Lite.
OSCAAR Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by the following partners.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without kindling or paper. Quick Wick, the world's best fire starter.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps foam secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
All right, here we go. Can-Am Midget Racing Club getting set to go, celebrating their 55th year. Getting the starting lineup here in the number 7. It'll be Jeff Blackburn. Blackburn will start on the pole, the 81 machine. Cassidy March out of London will start second. 22 machine of Luke Munson third. The 29 will be the fourth place starter of Paul Harrison. In fifth, it'll be the number 11 car of David Miller. In sixth, it'll be the number 53 car of Brandon Hopp. Seventh place starter, the number 42 car of Daniel Hahn. Eighth place starter, the number 12 of Darren Dryden. Adam Racine will start ninth in the number 20. The 57 car of James Stanley will start 10th. Number 6 machine, Craig Pitchell will be our 11th place starter, and the 12th starter will be the 83 car of Brody Rickwood. Moving on down through the field, McDeman will start in the number 40 car behind them. It'll be the 55 of Corey Whittam starting 14th. 15th, number 54 of David Mathers. 26th car of Elliot Muncie will start in position number 16. Two more starters, the 44 of Mike Coleman, and the final start out there will be the 46 of Bob Bailey. We got contact around O'Reilly as Racine gets together with the 12D of Darren Dryden. Is that how you saw that one out?
Yeah, he dove into the corner a little bit late. Let's have a look at this replay.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't quite have position on the 12, but Dryden contact is made. Dryden goes around.
Cool. Didn't know we were even getting a replay there. Awesome job, Spencer. 7 of Jeff Blackburn gets on the masher again, and we take off. Rolling right there with him. That 40 car of Mac DeMann. We saw a lot of Mac on the dirt lately, Adam. He is a multi-time champion in this division. And I don't know if you saw what Mac did. He had to rent a U-Haul trailer to get his car. He said he hoped his 2017 rubber would hold up for him in that 40 car, and it looks like it's doing all right here now in position number 3.
Yeah, I would say it's not bad at all, Clinton.
DeMann
Having a look
inside.
to the inside.
Hahn was loose there, Adam, coming out of the 2.
Big time. That 40 car of Mac DeMann is one that Andy Mackworth, if I'm not mistaken, Andy Mackworth, Craig Mackworth, Tyler Mackworth, I believe they all had the opportunity to drive that car at one time or another. In fact, the late Norm Mackworth even drove that car. I know he at least practiced it back in the 90s, I want to say. Canadian Motorsports Hall of Famer Norm Mackworth.
Jeff Blackburn out of Newmarket, leading in the Wagner Painting Lloyd's Truck Clinic. Completely wired number 7. Started this race on the pole and has been able to hold off. And here comes Mac DeMann. DeMann started deep in the field, Adam. DeMann started in position number 13 and is taking the lead here after 8 laps.
Lucky number 13.
That one restart certainly helped.
Down into the corner, he takes that car right down to the line, right down to the rumble strip. No, not over that rumble strip at all, but Mac DeMann, phenomenal car.
Let's talk about Mac DeMann on the dirt, Adam. We've seen him a lot. He's come over, worked his way up through the crate sprints to the 360s, and he's one of the standouts at our Shwegan Speedway and anywhere here in Ontario on the 360 Sprint Car Tour circuit. Gotten a fairly, I wouldn't say bad crash in terms of sprint cars, but enough to write off his car for the year, and they parked it for the season. Didn't make it for this last month of racing here in this COVID season that we've all been experiencing. But Mac has got the name the highlight man because he's got pretty much an on-off switch for a throttle, and exciting to watch.
He knows what you need to do in a sprint car, and that's keep your foot to the floor, steer it, and make it work. It doesn't always work for him, but he knows he has to develop, and he's almost developed into that. I mean, he's one of the best there is, but his head is completely wrapped around what he needs to do. as we've got another one around.
That's the 22 of Luke Muncie getting turned from the backside in the Sweet Sensations Bakery machine. Not sure if he got turned or if he just lost it up there. McDeman in the number 40 car out of Mississauga, the Crown Steering and Brake Nathan Ackland Racing Bar Motorsports car gets on it, and he will take the lead away from Blackburn this time. Daniel Hahn in the mix, Darren Dryden and Adam Racine, the top 5 under a blanket as they head off, and the yellow will come out. I thought they might have called that one back, but no, it's for the 81 of Cassidy March out of London, the Advantage powder coated rush check wild painting, number 81. Tough break. He started second in this event.
We're going to rack him up again and come back to a restart. McDeman on the inside, Blackburn up on the outside.
Daniel Hahn down on the bottom. Dryden will get by, as will the 20 of Adam Racine. And there he would jump back up with the outside lane and protect that progression of the next car coming by. You got DeMann working inside, and yellow was out again and will slow things down. This time it's for the number 29 machine of Paul Harrison in the road, distributing Paul Harrison Contracting, L&L Auto Service. 29 of Kitchener. Green flag back out once more. McDeman streaking away from Jeff Blackburn. Dryden to the inside here on Daniel Hahn as we try and hold back the Adam Racine number 20.
Yeah, so far everything Dryden has done, Adam Racine has been able to do as well in that 20 machine. Dryden continues to race side by side with Hahn. Hahn goes around in turn number 1, I believe, was all by himself. I don't think Racine gave him any help.
No, clearly on his own. And that one's going to sting a little bit. Daniel Hahn going to go a long way to the back. We look at McDeman, Jeff Blackburn, Darren Dryden as the top 3, and Dryden sneaking up the inside, trying to get to the inside of that 7 of Jeff Blackburn.
He got pinched off a little bit out of turn number 2. That's going to allow Racine to the inside. This time, he did get all the way to the inside. Dryden leaves that lane open. They'll race side by side down the front stretch.
Dryden around Racine will tuck in now, try and pull up to the outside. And we'll slow him down again under yellow once more. The man tried to sell this car, Adam, and I think it's probably still for sale. So if you're looking to get into the Can-Am Midget Racing Club, it's 55 years of success. They want to thank for tonight's feature, Wagner Painting, Miller Mobile Office Trailers, Fenwick Motors, Hyundai Subaru of Sarnia. Thanks to other sponsors, Chrysler Racing Talk, American Tire, Epic Racewear, Flamborough Machine Shop, Neely Auto, and thanks to Dave Gainforth and Sunset for inviting them to the race. That was the message we got from the Can-Am Midgets. Here we go. McDeman once again on it, Adam.
Man out in front, Blackburn hanging in there in that second spot. He lost the lead earlier, but he's been able to hold strong in the second spot. But Darren Dryden and Adam Racine right behind. They're looking pretty stout in third and fourth at the moment.
We look at Dryden try and work on the Blackburn 7. Less than 10 to go from McDeman.
Yellow flag is out. Everyone has had a turn spinning out in turn number 2. We haven't had the same car twice, I don't think.
DeMann will bring him off in 4 once more. Blackburn trying to think about what he can do. Put a little hurting on the 40 of DeMann. Nothing yet. Dryden still solidly in position. Number 3, Adam Racine has the top 4 streak away a little bit this time.
Racine tried to carve down the racetrack and get a run on Darren Dryden. Now Dryden getting a run on Blackburn. He'll take over that second spot. Racine sort of left out of the party there. Now he'll get to the inside of Blackburn coming off turn 4.
Racine down to the bottom, side-by-side battle. 4 position, number 3, and Blackburn fading a little bit here in this one. Adam, I see some folks on the chat asking where is this track. This track is about 45 minutes north of Toronto, Ontario, here in Canada. Runs on Saturday nights, typically in the summer.
Innisfil, Ontario, to be precise.
And there is not a bad seat in this place.
No,
You're
there's
right on
really
top of the
not. When
action.
redesigned and rebuilt this racetrack, as we're under yellow once again. We got one off the pace up on the outside of turn number 4.
And the seating wraps all the way from where we're seeing there. That's the beer garden in turn 3, all the way around back to where the cars come off the track in turn 2. And beautifully paved concrete concourse areas there, and with the track sunken down in the bowl a little bit. Great sight lines from everywhere. Beautiful pit lane right there. So when you have races where they need to pit, like you said, not a bad sight line from the house. Here we go. Mac the man with a good sight line up front of him. He's got nobody there, but if you could look in that rear view, you can see the 12D of Darren Dryden. Always a threat, Adam. Also a former champion in this division, running on the dirt as well. And these guys have been running very good in their sprint cars, and they're both back here running great. Oh, as you see, the team smokes the tires again. How is that left rear locking up on them, Adam?
Yeah, I think it's the left front, Clint, if I'm not mistaken, driving down into the corner, because I could be wrong. It could be the left. Oh, you're right. It's hard to tell which one it is. Here he goes to the outside.
Ooh, and they get together. Dryden with trouble now. Dryden slowing up in turn number 3. Broke something on the 12-2.
I don't think Dryden knew that Racine was there. The two of them make contact, and he's getting his gear off in a hurry, but Darren Dryden is out of this one.
You know, we've seen a lot more of Dryden than maybe the Can-Am Midget fans have, because he's been racing dirt a lot this summer. Do you think he'd be happy with his season or disappointed in his season? Like, he's been so fast in both disciplines here, but has not had great luck in them, but he has had decent runs on the dirt. I don't know what to think of Darren's season.
I think there would be frustration in some regards that the results haven't matched up his performance, but at the same time, he's got to be quite happy with the speed they found in that race car, because on the dirt in particular, he has been very, very fast. Nearly got his first win at Marysville Speedway this weekend.
Something happened Racine there, did not get the jump, and that will allow the 53 of Brandon Houck out of Waterloo to take that position away.
Yeah, Racine, with that contact with Darren Dryden, I think he hurt the 20 car as well, so 2 cars got damaged in that mishap off of turn number 2, and both of them had a shot at challenging Mac Demand for the top spot here.
4 to go, 3 this time off of turn number 4 for the highlight man, Mac Demand. And I bet a lot of these guys weren't happy to see him coming back. He's taken a lot of wins out of this series in the past, and it looks like he's set to take another one here, coming with just a couple more to go. 2 to go, as the Northern Performance.ca ticker says in the upper left-hand corner, and it's Demand holding them off.
You need to have the best, Clinton. I mean, if you can't beat the best there was, how can you be the best there is?
True words.
So in saying that, you want Mac Demand to be out there because you want to be able to beat him, but guess what? Nobody's going to do it today. Mac Demand going to take the checkered flag. Blackburn under attack. Who's going to get second? I believe it was Blackburn by a nose.
Okay, your finishing order will be the 40 of Mac Demand, Jeff Blackburn in car number 7. And then it will be the 53 of Brandon Houck. Behind them, Hahn in the 42, Miller in the 11, Stanley the 57, Rickwood in the 83, and Harrison the 29. Behind them, Luke Muncy, Elliott Muncy, then Coleman, Racine, Dryden, Pitchell, March, and Whittle. Mather in the 54 did not start. Mac Demand will pick up the win. And we'll get ready to take a quick break, and we'll be back here with one more feature to go. The Nightworks OSCAAR Hot Rods is going to close out the program.
OSCAAR Racing on GForceTV is brought to you by the following partners.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without kindling or paper. Quick Wick, the world's best fire starter.
Hey guys, Jose here at Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC in our service department. Welcome back to our car care series. If you are looking for quick, efficient, and quality maintenance for your vehicle's essential needs, our certified express service is here to help. Please follow me. Okay, so we're inside of our express service bay. You don't need an appointment to get your vehicle serviced here. It's an under 30-minute lube, oil, and filter change, all done by our GM certified technicians that know your vehicle inside and out. You can also get a complimentary car wash at the end of your service and get an alignment check done here in our express service bay. Okay guys, that's a wrap for episode number 2 of our car care series. Please visit our express service. Again, no appointments necessary for here, so we'll be waiting for you. Thanks.
All right, here we are back with the OSCAAR Nightworks Hot Rod Series. And getting set to go, Adam.
We're going to go with names and numbers, Clinton. I think we've got most of these sponsors in tonight. Billy Alderson Jr. on the pole in the 18, then is Trevor Thompson in the 00. Adrian Foster in the X is 3rd, Steve Book is 4th in the 47. 5th is the 2 of Tyler Hahn, 6th the 6 of Scott Beatty. The 8 senior starts 7th, that's Paul Sr. 8th is Tom Walters in the 47W. 9th the 0 Bill Clark, 10th the 04 of Sean Walker. 11th, the 44 of Matt Hopkins, 12th, the 88 of Jeremy McLean, 13th, the 21 of Dan Rothwell, 14th, the 86 of Nick Clark, 15th, the 12 of Ryan Cowan, 16th, the 11 of Adam Meisner, and 17th is the 1 of Jim Blackwell.
Cars underway here, as we mentioned. These are the OSCAAR Hot Rods. If you're just joining the broadcast, and just slow them down a little bit so you can get a look at how beautiful they really are, but it's actually out for the 12 machine of Ryan Cowan from Port Perry in the overtime pay and elbow grease sponsored car. It's funny, you read that line and you're like, oh, I get it now. He's not
isn't
sponsored.
That awesome?
He pays for it in overtime and elbow grease. Brilliant. So restart again. Here we go. It's the 18 of Billy Alderson Jr. in that 1966 Chevelle out of Mount Forest. On the outside of him, it's the 71 Camaro of Elmira, Trevor Thompson. Adrian Foster in the X on the outside of them. Steve Book in the 47. Tyler Hahn in the number 2. And the 6 of Scott B. Those are your top 6. Under a blanket there into 1 and 2. And if we're going to throw in Paul Sr. in the mix as well, and Stomp and Tom, all 8 of them are there.
Pretty much the entire field the way they started, with Alderson on the inside, Trevor Thompson on the outside. But yeah, you're right. Those top 8 in the 4 rows have pulled away from the rest of the field, and they are in tight formation. Adrian Foster in the X car runs in 3rd. Steve Book in the 47 runs 4th. Just nowhere for them to go.
Well, if there was ever a sales video for the amount of competition you've got in this division, there it is, right there. 8 of them, all under Grandma's huge family quilt as they roll down the back chute. And man, look at Walters work that outside. And that thing is a boat in its own right.
It is so. Trevor Thompson, though, out in front in that 00, inching ahead of Alderson in the 18. He's almost clear him to where he could come down into the racing groove, Clinton, but he stays up on the high side. A little bit of contact there into turn number 3. That's probably why he was staying on the high side.
Yeah, Tom Walters, as we mentioned, working at the bottom there, the 47W. That car is a 1965 Rambler Ambassador, and I just love the lines on all these cars. Such variety, and you know, getting wilder every year.
Oh, I'd say so. Just better and better all the time as Tom Walters on the inside of Steve Book for the 3rd position. And He's driving aggressively, leaving nothing to chance. He's finishing these moves that he's starting, not getting wrapped up in being side by side for too long. So Tom Walters, let's watch him work to the front as Steve Book losing another position to the 6 of Beatty.
Yeah, Walter's the one car that's really on the move. He started in position number 8. Now we'll slow down the progress for all of them here, as I believe that's the 44 of Matt Hopkins and the 64 Laurentian down on the inside. And that thing has a trunk on it that's about 4 feet long. What's that fell off there? Rear bumper?
I'm not sure.
Rear panel of some sort. Get set to go behind the Queens Chevrolet Camaro pace car. Get a good look at the middle part of the field there as we scan more towards up the front. Hawkins doing a good job with the eye from the perch here tonight. And we bring it around again, this time. It's Thompson on the outside, trying to get the advantage on that 18 of Billy Alderson Jr. Stompin' Tom, running position number 3. Bookie on the outside in 4. Beatty running 5th. Hahn 6th. Senior on the outside in that 8 and 8 spot. Just below him in the exits, Adrian Foster.
Tom Walters getting great runs around the bottom of the racetrack, but he's got to be frustrated because he can't do anything with it right now. Trevor Thompson out in front of Alderson in the 18, and then side by side we got a pair of 47s racing for 3rd. Patience
Inching up a little bit by a little bit will make it work, and now he starts to get the nose underneath the 18 of Alderson Jr. Finds that spot down on the bottom of 3. Yeah,
Alderson
really
would stay on the inside. Tom Walters was going to be in trouble, but instead he gets to run side by side for 2nd. I believe it's only a matter of time before he'll squirt out in front of Alderson and try to track down Trevor Thompson, but Alderson doing a good job there on the outside, holding his position, but now Walters is clear for that 2nd spot.
Alderson up on the outside. That's going to allow Steve Book to stick the 47 Studebaker down on the inside. And he will work on position number 3 as 2 of them team up behind. That's the Hahn number 2 on the outside lane, and down low Scott Beatty in that number 6 car. That 6 is the Javelin machine with just some deadly lines on that. The nose on it is gorgeous as they bring it off. And, you know, you really got to see this Tyler Hahn number 2 car up close. Just the candy apple paint job they've got on it. It is beautiful.
It's beautiful. The nice thing about these cars, Clinton, is you can tell what they are. Like when you say this is a Javelin, like, yep, that looks like a Javelin. This is a Studebaker. Okay, it doesn't look like a traditional Studebaker, but I can tell from the lines that it is.
Tom Walters working on the backside here of the Thompson 00. Battle for the lead. Thompson has held it down since about lap number 5. Oh, when he comes down on the veteran there, Walters. And Adam, is that a free pass to do what you've got to do now if you're Walters?
If I remember right, Trevor Thompson, no, he's not a very experienced racer. I'm trying to remember. He was the one that we interviewed at Jacasa, wasn't it, at the end of that race?
Yes, I believe so.
And I want to say he said he hadn't run very many races at all. So Tom Walters has thousands of laps behind the wheel of a late model stock, behind the wheel of various stock cars. So he knows where he wants his car. He knows where the leader of the race should be. Trevor Thompson doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Coming up on the Dan Rothwell 69 Chevelle. Rothwell's out of Sundridge, and whoa, Tom Walters slips it through there on Thompson. Will grab the lead.
Yeah, I think Tom had enough. It was time to go.
Adam Meisner out of North Bay in that 1964 Biscayne. And the Woods Welding Northland Automotive Juniors tire car there just in front of the leaders.
This battle for 3rd is going to be fun to watch. Alderson in the 18, Beatty in the 6, Paul Sr. in the 8. Steve Book is fading, and Tyler Hahn struggling back there as well. As Beatty smokes that left front tire under braking into turn 1.
Just in front of them, it's the 18 of Billy Alderson Jr. And whoa, he was way out loose out of turn 4 that time. And look at Senior, he backs it in like a dirt car through 1 and 2.
This is the point in a race where if someone's putting fluid on the racetrack, like just something dripping out of the car, lap after lap after lap, sometimes you'll see cars start to dance around the racetrack. It could be someone putting down fluid. Sometimes it's someone getting sideways in their own fluid.
There's second place, working his way through. Thompson and Alderson and Scott Beat out front. Tom Walters. A good lead over these guys. Just over 10 to go here as the WeatherTech ticker shows us in the upper left corner.
One car's so off the pace, running down on the inside of the track, lots of smoke coming out the back.
04 machine. Sean Walker out of Bethany in the 1957 Chevy.
That could be the source of fluid that these cars kind of dance through. 10 laps to go, and we've got one around and turn number 1. That's Cowan from Fort Perry in that 12 machine. Just a little heavy on the rear brake, maybe.
And there you really see it overheating. That Sean Walker machine in the Walker Motorsports Coach's Diner, Napa, Pine Ridge, Oshawa. All right,
we're going to stack them up again. Tom Walters coming to the green flag. He'll choose to start up on the outside. Scott Beatty in the 6. He's thrilled with that decision. Gets a good run to the outside of Thompson for second. Alderson now looking to the inside.
Alderson down on the inside there of that Beatty number 6. Thompson will get away from him and make a bit of a gap there between them that Beatty thought he might be able to get down in, but Alderson did a good job of filling that gap. And here comes Paul Sr. on the back bumper of that 18 car. The hook glued to the
back of the screen.
Quarter.
Ooh, a little bit of contact there coming off of turn number 4 between Alderson and the left front of Beatty. They're racing hard for position. Paul Sr. in that battle as well. Remember, we saw a couple of these cars damn near spin going into the turn the last 5-6 laps, Clinton.
Oh, contact there. Senior and Beatty get together. And as we mentioned, these are not showpieces. These are hard-driving, rubbing, racing race cars. And this OSCAAR Nightworks Hot Rod division has been one of the best growing divisions in Ontario. And Adam, it's one of those divisions where you can bring out the stuff that you thought was obsolete and the stuff you had in the barn and make it work with a bit of love and affection and overtime pay and monkey and elbow grease, right?
And I've got some word of some of the people who are building these cars and working on these cars, and Peter Shatanis comes to mind, Clinton. These are people with a ton of experience, a lot of ingenuity, and we should talk to Dave Gainforth for future races just to talk about some of the figures behind the scenes that have been fixtures in the stock car racing community for many, many years. As Cowan again goes around turn number 2, has been a tough spot for Cowan in that 12.
Getting down finishing stages of this one. Tom Walters still in control. Out front, Trevor Thompson and Paul Sr.
We hope you've enjoyed our coverage, folks, of these GForce Lite events. A little bit different format, but they sure do come together pretty well, Clinton Jeffrey. It's been, Spencer does a good job getting them together, our videographers that do the work. It's been really rewarding to be able to showcase a lot of different car races this summer.
For sure. We've shown the graphic a few times. OSCAAR's had some great supporters and the folks that got behind the program, so if you see their logo out there and you get the chance to take part in their products, make sure you give them the first shot if you can, because we got to stay strong here while we are out here putting something together. Oh, they got loose out of there. That was the Billy Alderson Jr. machine, but great save out of turn 4 with just a few more to go here in this one.
Paul Sr. made some contact with Alderson in one of the worst possible spots. Alderson did a nice job to save that car, but he's going to be fighting back hard, trying to get on the podium, and he is applying the pressure big time to Paul Sr. is out in front. Tom Walters should see the white flag this time. It should be one more lap to go for a driver who Clinton, I'm sure, expected to find victory long before now this year.
Walters brings it off 4, and this should be it. Walters grabs the checkered flag. A solid run here, and he hasn't been with this division very long, but shows off his experience. As you mentioned, Adam, we want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks to the crew, Chris Hawkins for getting this done, Spencer for editing it up, you for joining me here tonight. Here's the final rundown for the OSCAAR Hot Rods. It was Tom Walters, then Trevor Thompson in the 00. Paul Sr. will finish 3rd. Billy Alderson Jr. will be 4th, and Scott Beatty will be 5th. Steve Book will be 6th. Tyler Hahn will be in position number 7. Adrian Foster behind them. Then we've got the Nick Clark 86, the 88 machine, and behind them the 0, the 1, the 11, 12, 21, 04, and 44. Thanks everybody for watching us. We will go down and watch them take on Victory Lane. That's going to wrap up our broadcast from here. Thanks for watching. For those of you looking for Merrittville Speedway, it'll air tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here on GeForce Lite.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.